vivo. Dímelo, dímelo, mi gente. Hey there, everybody. How's everybody doing? Here with my boy Etiel, my right hand guy. You guys already know how it is. Dímelo, papi.
Yo, what's up, man? What's up?
What's
How you
poppin'?
been? Not
Doing good,
much, man. Thank you very much for having me here one more time. Like, and I'm invited guest.
bro. You're my co-host. What you talking?
Well, you treating me, yo, you treating me right now like I'm invited here. Okay, so hey, but thank you very much for everybody that's listening right now. We were waiting for the year to come in, so we can do this. Yo, Bren, what you got for us today?
Wow, my boy. As the title says, we're gonna be talking about Bitcoin. Can Bitcoin ever actually
Uh,
get to $100,000, right?
we really have to talk about Bitcoin.
Yeah. I mean, you really wanted to talk about it, ironically. Primero que
That's
todo,
that's what it
first,
is.
let's see what's going on, right? Today, the markets, the S&P 500. Interesting, bloody day. Um, Everything just went haywire. Semiconductors, bro, the chips, terrible. Nvidia down 3.6%.
It was really
AMD
interesting.
down 5%. Intel
Really
down
interesting.
3%. Like Apple down 1%. Amazon down 3%. A lot of crazy numbers here, right? So not a green day for the markets.
Not
Um,
at all.
if we look briefly here, um, everybody's you know injecting fear. Stock market could drop another 10% soon. Good luck. We all need it. U.S. market approaches end of super bubble. So you already know how the media is, right? Um,
Oh
I
yeah.
don't get too phased about it. So that's how the stock market is looking like. As you can see, the crypto market is basically following along. Estamos siguiendo los pasos aquí.
Hmm.
Bloody Mary. Look at these numbers here. Bitcoin down 2.2%.
Bitcoin
Uh,
is down 2%. How many? How much?
2.3% basically.
2.3.
It's right
Okay.
now at 3970. So 39 39,000.
Yeah, 39,000. Just so you
Ethereum
know,
down to 2800. Matic down to 189, down
well,
3%.
just so you
So,
know,
uh-huh.
I read an article saying that just a fun fact. The crypto market, sorry, it was having a correlation with long-term tech stocks. Really interesting. Long-term tech stocks. How? I don't know, but there is a correlation. I just read in an article. Please, people, don't ask me right now because I don't remember where the article was. But really, it was really fascinating. How
No,
it's having
mira,
a zero. It's saying zero correlate, well, not zero. At least like it's super similar. That's what I'm trying to say. Super similar to the tech stocks.
well, if we look to the Miramaki, if we look at stuff here, we're gonna see Nasdaq down 1.3%, S&P down 1.1%. So esos markets que están heavy en tech, tienen mucho tech, pues ya tú ves. Crypto market, pues Bitcoin down 2.1%, so similar numbers, right? So que tenga esa similaridad, pues puede ser porque comparten la misma característica de que son innovative sectors, ¿verdad? Emerging sectors, emerging markets, como quien dice. O sea, Apple es un growth stock, Bitcoin es algo relativamente nuevo que pues en esencia would mean que it's altamente más volátil. So they share esas características, so you would expect them to behave similarly under the same circumstances, right? That's what I mean. So, um, a la misma vez, just think about it. Cryptocurrencies que tienen que ver con tecnología. Apple es una compañía de tecnología. Amazon es una compañía de tecnología. Microsoft de tecnología. Todas estas companies que posiblemente, right, se pudieran beneficiar o pudieran actually operate en ese mismo, utilizando esa misma tecnología que utiliza cryptocurrency, pues, lo mismo, comparten similar characteristics, por ende would behave similarly under the same circumstances. So, eso es importante notar, ¿verdad? No creo que es que necesariamente porque los tech stocks se extendan vayamos a ver que Bitcoin y todas las cryptocurrencies estén down. Hemos igualmente visto, we've seen instances en donde um, the stock market is down, crypto market is up, vice versa. Crypto market is down, stock market is up. So it's not one to one correlation, right? You understand?
Me está regañando en el podcast.
Not, I mean, oigan a mi tío. No, no, no. No, 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 no. What I'm saying is, like, I get the point why people would think correlation, right? Yo solo creo que es importante dejar claro que just because, lo estamos viendo aquí actualmente, estamos viendo este kind of sell-off, right? Entre, entre cryptocurrency y, y la, como tú dices, la long-term growth, las tech stocks, por ejemplo, pues no necesariamente tiene que uno va a ir directo a la conclusión de que pues ambas van a subir y ambas van a bajar porque there's no direct link, right? No hay una, como que, ¿cómo me explico? No hay algo que tú digas, ok, porque Apple esté subiendo, Bitcoin va a subir, right? Por tal razón, porque
Mm,
si los usuarios de Apple suben, los usuarios de Bitcoin suben. Tú no puedes
claro.
garantizar eso, ¿me entiendes? So that's what I mean, en
Sure,
otras
sure.
palabras. So, anyways, uh, still, you could expect them to behave similarly or tener similar characteristics, y pues, being under the same circumstances, pues, podrían pasar cosas similares. So, yeah, eso in mind. Eso in mind. Pulling up here aquí el 4-hour chart de, de Bitcoin. By the way, no sé si quiera, te voy a poner aquí la pantalla para que la puedas ver. It's silly me, right? Going live. Anyway, aquí lo está viendo mi gente también. En el live, estamos viendo aquí Bitcoin in the 4 hour. This was the recent all-time high. This is where we are now. Just below the 40,000 mark. Si hacemos, si calculamos a ver cómo vamos de este
Below the,
recent all-time
excuse me,
high,
what'd you say? Below the what?
just below 40,000. ¿Me entiendes? We're
Below that from where?
40,000 mark.
From where?
40,000.
What has been the all time high?
Oh, the all-time high is 69.
69.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
And the drop, it was how much?
that's what I'm about to calculate right now.
39,000. Hold up. So if you tell me if I bought at 69,
Right now, if you bought at the top, you would be down about 42%. 40%. Ouch, right? So that's why
42, 42%.
that's why you obviously pues, you don't buy the highs, right? Um
Well, I mean, 69 to 100,000. Well, let's say we bought a 60 to 100,000. How much is that for a percentage?
60 to 100.
Yeah, 60 to 100. How much is it? Mm,
If you're trying to like if you buy from that all-time high and you're trying to get to 100,000, you're looking at about a 45%, right?
45%.
From the all-time high to 100,000. From
Hmm.
from current point to 100,000, we're looking at about
Hmm.
150%, right? So
Hmm.
these are the levels where you start to consider to buy, right? This
When you start to consider to buy,
I mean, ¿verdad? Nadie en su sano juicio, but it's just gonna
you just
buy.
said no one in his how
Is
do you
it
say that in English?
his
In his
sane juice?
no, no, not Jews. Oh my god. In his it's not sane, bro. Oh my god.
In his right mind.
In his clear judgment or his right mind would buy. You know, you know what's
What I
wrong?
meant to say was what I meant.
Brandon.
I
You remember? Oh my god! Listen to him, everybody. Listen to him.
bro,
He's already mad. I've been telling you right
Dios
here.
bendito. Dale, dale.
This is where it comes, man. This is where it comes. The anti crypto. Okay,
El anticristo.
tell me what happened in the 1990s
Ahí gana
um
este.
with what, what was it again? Oh my god, I can't believe I, bro. I'm forgetting everything. Micro strategies. And what happened with the guy
Aquí va este tipo
who's
comprando
been
bitcoins, bro.
hyping crypto? Who's been hyping the cryptos? Tell me what happened to this company, man. You know what? Now that you look
Bro,
doing a
that
live,
guy has his
oh,
average cost of his Bitcoin is about 27,000. He's still way
okay,
in
okay,
profit. You think he gives
okay.
a shit right
Tell
now?
me he
No.
doesn't give a shit. Okay, but let's talk about the people. Tell me what happened with the stock MicroStrategy. Tell me what happened.
Let's look MicroStrategy up right now. You talk is I don't even
And
know MicroStrategy.
don't be
You
like,
just
oh, but what about the people that bought in the bot?
Etiel está
No, no, no,
mordido,
no, no, no,
Etiel está mordido
no.
porque yo cogí aquí, le dañé, le expuse HPQ.
Yo, don't talk about HPQ like that because it used
Nah,
to
nah,
be
nah,
not
nah.
like that. Okay, go back or go
So
back.
Etiel is talking. He's like, look, this was at 1,300, right? Now it's at 450. So it's down 62%.
1,300. How many? I mean, we can't. This is not counting how many shares they have diluted throughout the company. Okay, I don't know how many shares they have diluted within the company. I mean, throughout the times, and he's actually looking right now for the fundamentals of
Let's look it up. Let's
but
look it up. Let's look it up.
but just so you know, the same guy that went from 1,300 that Jim Cramer said If no one
Hey,
invests in this company,
don't
you're
mix it
dumb. Like
with don't
no, no,
mix
no,
it
no, 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 no.
with
This thing is
crypto, bro.
in the intelligent. Yo, you read the Intelligent Investor like 3 times now, right?
No, no,
3 or 2
yeah,
times.
yeah, two
Three or
times,
2 times.
2 times, 2 times.
2 times, right? 2 times. Okay. So for the second time, you're gonna read in the commentary that they say that MicroStrategy Jim Cramer hyped that stock up and it fell to 90% in the dot com bubble.
Look, let me tell you something. Just I want to clarify this right here, right now. I don't give a shit about MicroStrategy, bro. I don't own the stock. I don't want the stock.
Who is hyping the stock? Who is hyping Bitcoin right now?
N- Well,
Mm,
Michael
mm.
Saylor's hyping Bitcoin. Okay,
Who's the owner of MicroStrategy?
he's the CEO of MicroStrategy.
Mm, 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 mm. That
What?
sounds like the owner. Well, the CEO is not the same as the owner, but still,
Exactly.
he. mm, I don't know. He might be the top owner, the shareholder of a majority shareholder of MicroStrategy.
I mean,
He might be. And I'm talking from might be just like saying things like just so you don't get salty about it, and we don't have to end this podcast right here.
yo,
Just so we don't
I'm
have
not
to
gonna
end it
be
right here.
salty about anything, bro, because I basically clarified why
Okay.
it don't matter. Stocks are not correlated to crypto. Secondly, secondly, I'm not in it because Michael
Mm,
Saylor is hyping it up, bro. I'm not in
no,
it
I
for
never
that.
said that. I
And
never said that.
third, if we go be talking about losing money, Michael Saylor ain't losing that much money right now. I mean, he's losing from
Micah Saylor, he got a second chance of life. Okay, that's all. He got a second chance of life. But let's go to the fundamentals, Brandon. Take me to the fundamentals.
take me to the fundamentals. What do you mean the fundamentals? You talking
The
about
um the balance sheet of MicroStrategies. I
look
see here that
right
you got the
now?
key
These
ratios.
are the key ratios, right? So basically, this is what we're looking at. So you're gonna see right now revenue from 2011, basically linear reducing, right? Linear towards reducing. So there's that. Gross margin, basically a bit up. I don't care. Operating income, negative years, barely making it up now. Earnings per share, it had some
Mm,
traction.
mm,
$9 per share here,
okay, it
$8,
went.
but then you lose all that traction here completely
Mm,
by more than 90%, right? So
so to explain to the people that are not watching, MicroStrategies went and we're bringing up MicroStrategies because of
because at the end
Mike
we
Saylor no, because of Mike Saylor, he is the one who's been hyping Bitcoin. He went in
diluted,
Ki-
diluted, right? Diluted earnings, diluted. What is this? Shares that standing.
diluted. It says here 2020. Well, that's December 2020. Let me see. From negative 78, which he was buying shares, he went to dilute his stock like a prostitute to 3.33.
Oh my god!
Then he
Give him
diluted some more.
the prostitute
Then he
analogy.
diluted some
Holy
more.
fuck, bro!
This guy's
Let me
closing
tell you
tabs right now.
something. Let me tell you something. I am closing tabs. Let me tell you something.
He is.
You are right. This company right now is in the trenches.
It
And
is in the trenches.
let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. I'm not gonna talk a lot of shit about it because I don't even know what
No.
it
Okay,
does.
but
I don't even know what it does. I don't even know anything about it. But these
still,
numbers suck. Look at this. Debt to equity, that sucks. Free cash flow, it's negative. Those numbers are out. Revenue for the
it
last
it,
3 years,
it
there's no growth in the last 3 years. Return on assets, negative. Return on your equity, way negative. So, I mean, these numbers are obviously horrible. So, just by the numbers, this sucks.
we
Right.
still had to explain to the people, Brandon, that
It
okay, so
sucks.
this company has been diluting shares, and this company has been since 1990 something, the 1999, the known as the dot-com bubble. um this company went from 1,300 to how much, Brandon? 400 something, right? If I'm not mistaken, 300 something. And it's been, yeah, it's been diluting his share. It's like it's been just taken away from the investors like crazy, like crazy. It's been taken away from the investors like crazy. Now, Mike Saylor went into Bitcoin, and of course, I'm gonna give this to Brandon. You do not have to invest into Bitcoin just because Mark Saylor says you to. If he does an interview and he's like, "Oh, you shouldn't," just like he said last time, he's like, "Oh, you should invest in Bitcoin because of this and that, and if you don't have money, sell your house, mortgage your house, whatever." Whatever he said, the ironic thing he said. Do you know? Do not think that branding is investing in Bitcoin because of that, but
And we do not.
I want to clarify
That's
that
true.
because a lot of people, okay, a lot of people, Brandon, not because of you. I'm just how is that? Tuning your horn? I think that's a saying in English. Yeah, tuning your horn, something like that. But because of a lot of people went into Bitcoin thinking, oh, this is the next GameStop, the next AMC, thinking that just because a person is saying go buy it right now, it means that it's something good. That guy, oh, he bought at 27. You never know. You never know. Even though he bought at 27, right now it's at 39. How much is it away, like percentage wise, or you know, just because he said he bought at 27, he bought at 60. What profit is that going to give you?
I
You
don't
know what
know.
I'm saying?
Look,
You know what I'm saying? Maybe you saw the article when he bought 27, but
I
y-
get what
y-
you're,
you know,
I get what you're saying. No,
mhm.
hey, I get what you're saying.
Brandon, don't be salty, man.
I, oigan a mi tío. Oigan a mi tío.
Brandon, don't be
Ah,
salty.
no se haga así. No se haga
Don't
así.
be salty. I knew. Okay, I knew. I mean, at least you're good. But a lot of people, they bought it 60 at 69. They were like, "Oh, this is gonna go up."
No,
I
yeah.
remember.
And
I
now,
remember
look
when
at
I
now.
bought. Well, thank God I bought quant. I mean, don't. Me by saying this, like, it's not like I wasn't in the crypto market. I was in the crypto market, and at least for me, it didn't work out. I was like, I don't like this. It's different from companies. It's different from what I know from stocks, from the uh, option tradings, whatever I do. I was like, this is completely different. If I'm being honest with you, I was here and I saw that, at least for me, I was like, this is not for me. This is not for me.
That's good.
I I
Good for
I
you.
thought,
Good for you, bro.
well,
Here's what I'm about to say. Here's what I'm about to say.
okay,
Here's what I'm
tell
about
tell
to
them,
say.
tell them, Bren.
This is how easy it is. This is how easy it is. It takes patience. It might not work out. You gotta come in the saying it might not work out. Look at me. Look at this is what I'm doing.
Okay,
This is what
you
I'm
thought
doing. You remember the last time I bought, bro. You remember the last time I bought. And I've been telling you guys, and I told y'all. And I bought at certain levels. And when this thing blew up, I didn't buy anything, bro. Like, I didn't buy anything. I didn't buy
Okay,
at the
but that
top.
was you.
Exact. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. It's not for everybody, but it's because not everybody has that mentality. You know what I'm
Mm,
saying?
mm.
Everybody's thinking, all I'm hearing is Bitcoin to 100,000. Let me get in before it gets there, right? 60,000. Oh my God, it's about to get there. Let me get in before it gets there. I could still make about half my
What
money.
are you saying about me, huh?
What are you saying about you? I'm saying this is a good time to start looking into adding into your positions. I'm adding into my positions now. Why? Because as you can see, going back to all time highs is, and this is just Bitcoin, right? It's about a 74% average there, right? If you look into certain altcoins, you're gonna probably see a higher return, where you're gonna probably see between 100, 150, up to 200% return from this dip, right? From
150, 100, how much?
from this to previous all time highs, right?
Wow.
In smaller coins, you know, relativamente, right? So
Yeah, relatively.
what I'm saying with this is I'm not only looking to add into Bitcoin, right? I'm not focusing everything in Bitcoin. So de nuevo, there's a lot of opportunities out there que we should be able to plan to be able to take advantage of, right? So the
Mhm.
reason I'm not entirely affected by this, right? Why is it? It's because I'm prepared to the point where right now I don't have to worry. We're down 45% from all-time highs, right? What I'm what I'm actually focusing on is, all right, now now that we're down 45%, now I can get some more, right? Um
Mhm.
Claro, it would have been juicy to get that to have sold a big position at the high or near the high, right? And then um, increase with those same profits now. That would have been an ideal circumstance as well. No te voy a mentir.
Mhm. Yeah,
Pero still,
true.
if you're in a position where you can now take advantage of this retracement, right? Then I como que most certainly do, right? Eh, Now it's better
Mhm.
to enter than buying at 69. You know what I mean? Definitely. That's
Mhm.
if you thought Bitcoin, es como dicen, if you thought Bitcoin was good at 69, you should love it now at 40, right? And I'm not saying go ahead and buy. All I'm saying is technically speaking, right? Technically speaking, if you were saying, "Oh my god, I'm going to miss out. It's at 69,000. I want to get in before it hits 70 so I can get $30,000." Well, let me tell you something. Now it's at 40. So you could get $60,000. You can get double that, right? So as long as people keep that in mind, I think you're good, right? I think you're going to be good. You know, I believe in this long term. Right now, as I said,
Mhm.
my main focus is actually adding to my altcoin positions. I've been buying a lot of quant.
Want?
Yes, I've told you this, bro. I've told you this. I've been buying quant. Um, Now that I was looking at this and I see that link is below the $20 mark, I might add some link. I've been holding so so um excitingly to Polygon Matic. It's performed well. It's having quite the retracement now from recent all-time highs. We're talking about a 33% retracement, and we're probably going to see about an equal percentage-wise run back, about a 50% run to all-time highs. So that's something that could be considered. Pero en Matic yo estoy súper bien, right? But these are just, again, a lo que voy, these are sort of some projects that returning to all time highs will likely generate a better rate of return que simplemente Bitcoin, right? And we're talking about
Yeah.
quality projects here, quality projects con actual utility, and use case y toda la cuestión, right? So, ahora mismo Polkadot, por ejemplo, otra de esas, to all-time highs, we're looking at about 137%. So, eso es excelente, y yo veo Quant como tremendo prospecto too. You know, Polkadot este, tiene interoperability, utility, which en esta industria va a ser esencial. So, sin entrar a mucho detalle a eso, lo que quiero decir es que smaller tokens as well are tienen buena oportunidad, right? So, a lo que voy. If you si tú estabas desesperado porque diantre se está yendo a la guagua, todo el mundo se está montando, todo el mundo está haciendo chavo, it's because they started buying at these levels, right? Para que cuando suba a como tú la estuviste viendo, right?
Hmm.
Then is when you actually have profits. So now is when you actually have to be like, all right, ahora que todo se ha calmado, it's better to buy now. You may lose some more money now, but you'll lose less than the guy who bought at the top. That's for sure. You know, that guy is losing more money. ¿Entiendes?
Bueno, Bryn, um, we wanted to talk about today about
Yeah, Bitcoin, bro, Bitcoin.
how, well, of course, we wanted to talk about Bitcoin. Um, and just so you know, people, the anti crypto, I brought that up. I know I don't like, crypto's like Brandon, but I brought it up because it's a topic that a lot of people need to hear about this. Um, Now, what we wanted to bring is that last year they were speculating that Bitcoin was going to reach 100K. Now, do we still believe in that possibility within this year or no? So Brandon, what do you think about Bitcoin reaching 100K this year? Where we have 11 months to go. What do you think is going to happen with Bitcoin now that regulations are popping up? Today, 1/20/2022, um, the Senate was talking about, of course, making regulations and coming forth with a couple of things. I don't know if it's laws or a couple of rules for the crypto market and the cryptocurrencies. What do you think about Bitcoin reaching 100K this year? Do you think it's possible, Brandon? Do you think we'll make it this year?
So here are my thoughts. Here are my thoughts.
Okay.
So this is what I'm gonna say. There's the possibility, right?
Mhm.
There's a possibility. Um, I must admit there was this chart I used to look at that I was giving it the benefit of the doubt porque it was the I don't some of you might have seen the stock to flow chart, which basically use factors such as the supply and current prices and current demand to insinuate the suggested, or potential future price at cada año. So, give based on that graph, we should have had 100K Bitcoin by December, right? Or close to 100, which was actually 98,000. So, people were really optimists about that, right? And the reason was the chart actually reached. Let me see if I can look it up. The chart actually reached the points where, um, right, if, for example, September was 46,000, October was 50,000, right? It reached those crucial points at those particular moments. So it had some sort of trial, right? Proving it to have at least some sort of credibility to some extent, or at least making sense. But then we obviously had the biggest, most invariable factor in the market space, which was the government, right? Government regulation, government intervention, government oversight, and that was the most, ¿verdad? El factor más importante, the most crucial thing that could have affected actually that esa ruta, right? That route to 100K on December. So once we broke that chain, ya yo me había dado por vencido en que in 2021 we were gonna reach 100K. And you already know how I am. I'm, I'm I kind of established myself as I do believe it's gonna hit 100K. Am I gonna be certain it's gonna be this year? Well, unless somehow we start getting, you know, higher amount of adoption in and less government, you know, negative backing, right? Negative feedback, como quien dice. Then it's gonna be a bumpy ride as well, and it might happen. We might get close to it again, but it might be the same thing. We might pull back 40%, 50%, and go through this whole process all over again. All over again. So I would say there's between a 30, I would say a 30% chance that Bitcoin hits 100,000 this year. Right. 30%. And that's being, I would say,
Optimistic.
a bit optimistic. Yeah. Yeah. You know,
That's awesome. What do you think about and I'm sorry, I know I'm like interviewing you right now. The thing is you're like the crypto expert right now. What do you think? I mean, I don't know if they've solved this, but what do you think? How are they? I don't see Bitcoin reaching 100K, not even this year. The thing is, there's so many problems with Bitcoin right now. How do you think they're gonna solve at least? Let's start with the energy consumption it takes to mine Bitcoin. Like, how are they gonna solve that? I know El Salvador just took one of their volcanoes and just exploited the hell out of their volcano. They're like, we're just gonna take the energy out of this volcano. I don't know if they had to do that because of s- certain reasons, just to say whatever it is. But what do you think is gonna happen with the energy consumption? How are they gonna change that?
I understand. Um,
He's saying it. I understand,
no,
like I'm a new.
I understand the worry. So, do you consider that energy consumption for laundry
Big
is high?
for laundry. Um, I mean, every
Just
single.
just think about how
I
much
mean,
voltage a
rel.
dryer takes, right? Or a
Mm,
mambo,
mm,
and then multiply that by, whatever amount you think of people just in the United States have a washer and dryer, and just put an average price on that, right?
okay, I cannot put an average price
For
or
example,
number,
right? For
but
example, just look at it this way, right?
mhm.
Your dryer might typically consume, I don't know, X amount of watts, right? So average electric consumption
For dry.
of
I don't. So going to your question, I mean,
kilowatt.
relatively, right? And this is not true. Every American needs a washer and a dryer. They need to either go to not counting of course, homeless people, but, you know, counting like us normal people that can actually afford a washer or dryer, or going to a laundry. Think about maybe like 75% of Americans going to dry their clothes.
Yeah.
You know, like around so
Still,
75%
what I'm
of
trying to
Americans
say
are going
is
to dry their
this. The
clothes.
term says this. That's a high amount of energy, right? Just
Oh, of course, of course, of
drying
course.
your clothes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Same goes to dishwashing. Same goes to, um, I would say a large amount of people with AC and stuff like that. So, number one thing I want to have in mind here is that does the cost, whether it's high or it's low, is
Mm-hmm.
it worth it, right? Is the cost worth the benefit? That's the number one thing. Because we don't talk shit about dryers because we love how the dryers dry our clothes the same day. We don't have to worry about putting them outside and waiting for them to dry, right? And maybe getting wet and toasted. That's why we don't talk shit about dryers. But because Bitcoin is something that not everybody yet has had the capability of understanding and or participating in, and might never will, then we have a different response. A lo que voy, right? Maybe the benefit, the cost, right? The cost, this energy cost that you're talking about, which is still considerably lower than gold mining, copper mining, operating some of these other utility stuff that we need to do on a daily basis. So above that, it doesn't matter how much energy it takes. It's
People.
where the hell the energy is coming from. And you know what? It can come from a sustainable source, something that a lot of stuff that is currently being done right now is hard to change to. Now we're seeing households change to solar panels now, and it's because it's been made slowly, each time more affordable, more accessible, and it's still kind of expensive as fuck. So, ¿qué quiero decir con esto? Entiendo que a lo mejor el costo, it may be a billion y pico, right? But aparte de being lower, I think the benefit of what this technology provides, right? Because that's just Bitcoin. There's a lot of more efficient um energy energy wise projects out there that could solve a lot of problems still, right? So I feel que this thing is just pasajero, you know, it's just pasajero. Um, yo entiendo que
Just so you guys,
¿qué?
just so you guys know, Brandon said it here in a live. He does not use a dryer because he rather use that energy for
Is it good? Hey, if I could, I probably would. You know what I'm saying? Pero
Brandon. Brandon just attacked the dryers like they were consuming Bitcoin's energy.
yo,
Oh.
uh,
Tomorrow he's gonna hate me for this, but oh my god, Brandon, you hated on dryers like how many dryers?
yeah, le caí encima a los dryers por literal. Ay, de que están las secadoras por ahí, pero ya este que le dio. You know, pero ¿a qué voy?
I know what you're saying. I know what he's saying.
You
Of
know,
course,
a
of
lo que
course, of
voy
course.
es eso, pues. You know, en
But
comparación a
you
otra
think
cosa,
do
I
you
understand the thing, but I
mm,
feel like this this costs eventually, if we figure out the benefit, whether it's government wise, consumer wise, etc. I think we'll come to an understanding that the benefit is greater than the cost, right? So I mean, that's me in my that's my perspective in that particular topic. You know, si hay alguna manera de reducir esos costos, right? Even though el beneficio would be worth it, then by all means, I'm definitely not be against that. You know, o reducir el energy consumption. Que de nuevo, todo esto va con el hecho de current system state y, y todos esos technical aspects. As
mhm,
I said, también, there's a lot of other projects que ahora mismo son smaller ones, pero que su sistema would allow to run more efficiently. Y para hacer lo mismo que hace Bitcoin o más, requieren muchísimo menos energía. ¿Tú me entiendes lo que te digo? So,
yeah.
I just feel that it doesn't even have to be Bitcoin, right? It doesn't even have to be Bitcoin. Bitcoin posiblemente llega a un punto en donde haga peak y se quede en ese rango por muchísimo, muchísimo, muchísimo tiempo. ¿Me entiendes? So,
Man, I don't know about how you feel about um the government now. They're talking about Bitcoin. I just saw in couple of hours back. I saw, and I didn't of course I didn't read through the article. I just saw that they're going to start regulating Bitcoin and the crypto market itself. They're talking about that in Congress, and people in Senate, trying to take the supposedly decentralized system into centralized system and do like regulations and all that. How do you think that's going to affect Bitcoin and the crypto market? And specifically, going back to Bitcoin, how do you think it's going to affect Bitcoin reaching the 100K mark? If it's going to affect that at all, of course.
So basically, what you're asking is,
How is the U.S. coming into play now going to affect
yeah.
Bitcoin? Because the
Well,
U.S. is coming into play.
there's two ways this happens. Number one, the U.S. and when we say U.S., let's say the government. When the government
Yeah, that's the government.
the, the government comes in, they could either come in one way or the other, which is the aggressive way, the I'm gonna take everything away way, and implement regulations where, as we've seen, they will shift the narrative to this is being done for the safety of the consumer,
Hmm.
right? And
Which I doubt it.
of course, because number one, if it's because of the safety of the consumer, you fix that by allowing educational accessibility to the consumer to where it becomes less risky. Because whether it's Bitcoin, whether it's stocks, whether it's bonds, they all possess some type of risk, just one higher than the other, period. So
Hmm.
at the end of the day, it's educating people to where they understand the risk that they're posing and then let them make the decision, period. It doesn't matter whether it's crypto, it could be a stock that has the same type of behavior. You make the
Hmm.
decision of investing in it, whether it's a high risk or low risk, right? So they can either come in aggressive and be all, I'm gonna put regulations for everything so we control everything, and then we're basically going to be the casino where the house wins most of the time. Tax regulations, probably gonna get taxed at a higher rate given that
Hmm.
expenses would be lower, some sort of shit like that. ¿Entiende? So,
I thought the same thing. I'm
if
thinking
they,
about.
that's the thing, if they come in with that sort of mentality, then the market is gonna see a very. I mean, I feel it might see a very bloody market, right? And that would be a point where I might consider at least
Cutting your losses.
cutting my losses, removing at least most of my positions. Porque, then the only thing that I would see stopping that at some point would be eventually figuring out how you're gonna navigate through that, right? And todo esto, if they come in aggressively, right? But
Hmm.
again, all it takes is crypto is gonna be illegal in the U.S. Period.
Actually, I do not think it's
I
going to be
mean,
illegal. But
it's not. I don't think and again, I don't think it's gonna
yeah,
go to zero. But I would think from 40,000 right now, it might go to 10,000, for example, something like that.
man, I think I'll
And you'd be
be
surprised, and you'd be surprised. Pero la cuestión que te quiero decir es que something like that is what's gonna be
hmm,
devastating for the market. However,
I
if
think
we
I
receive, let me finish this point real quick. If we
oh no.
if the perdóname. If
No,
we
no, no, I don't want to. Yeah.
if we receive a more positive feedback, where the government, what it's really trying to do is make sure that there are guidelines in place to make sure that we're reducing the amount of uncontrolled, right? Eh, ¿Cómo me explico? Y obviously some of their own interest might be involved in it as well, and I'm not gonna lie about that. Pero it's different when it's like we're gonna implement guidelines here that you need to follow if you want to be able to participate in this area, right? Whether it is that if you want to create a cryptocurrency, you're gonna need to have this and this and this. You're gonna have to submit this and this and this, etc.,
Hmm.
right? And implement those guidelines so that these exchanges might need to go through that process before um, allowing some of these higher risk cryptocurrencies in their platforms, right? So that that sort of regulation, even though it might also even cause a negative impact, is way different than coming in and saying you can't trade cryptos now. All you can do is buy, and you have to hold them for at least 30 days, right? So those type of regulations, one is going to be harmful, the other one will most likely either remain the same, or if it has a harmful impact, is going to be very light compared to that other very aggressive intervention. So it's just going to depend on that, really, right? We don't know yet. We've seen how some some US senators have combined sentiments. Some are very pro crypto. We've seen some US at the governors, mayors that are pro crypto. So if we keep seeing this slow adoption politically, then we might see adoption federally, right? So definitely, it all depends on qué cara de la moneda dan.
What about? I mean, well, going back because I didn't want to ruin
Perdón, perdón.
your line of thought. No, no, hold on. Don't worry. Um, Going back to it, I don't think the U.S. is going to regulate it to that point where they're actually going to put like regulations. I mean, I think right now the U.S. is going. They're trying to get money back from the money they sent out to the Americans. Man, I just think they're gonna tax that like super hard. I think Bitcoin's gonna be taxed hard, and then when I say hard, I mean Elon Musk 11 billion tax paying hard. That's what I'm talking about. Um, Besides that, I was watching here in Twitter about Zero Edge. Not Zero Edge, sorry. Well, it was a forum here in Twitter. They would talk about the crypto market and Bitcoin. They just said Bitcoin increased by 1.78% the supply chain. What does that mean, Brandon?
That's a good question. That's a
You're
good question. That
you're not okay.
that I might have to read what you read and give you a better answer, right? So
Yeah, of course it was. I'm sorry to put you in the spot.
no, 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 no. I mean, it
In
happens,
the
right? It happens. It happens. Sometimes my guy is not ready. It is what it is. I can't expect this.
I should have prepared you
I
for
can't
that.
expect this from everybody. No, no.
I
Um,
mean, you still have to collaborate if the information is true. I just read it, and I just wanted to tell you that. Just so you guys know, I didn't share the info with Brandon, and not because I'm trying to catch him off guard or anything like that. I actually wanted
no, no,
to
no.
know because I just like it was like
I
really,
mean,
really, really
it's
recent.
just the supply chain thing, right? Is the thing I want to understand. And the only thing I can relate to Bitcoin and supply is the fact that obviously the supply is not supposed to continue increasing. It's only right, the circulating supply or the supply available would reduce given the fact that there's only 21 million Bitcoin. However, supply chain issues, I I would need to have a
True.
better understanding of what that means within Bitcoin or the crypto space.
Man, I don't know about you, but do you think Bitcoin is will hedge inflation? Because I don't think, at least for me, I don't think Bitcoin will hedge inflation. Like I don't see, I don't see Bitcoin as a hedge for inflation. I see Bitcoin as an asset that's too speculative. Speculative. I'm sorry. If I said the word wrong. Like right now, we saw Bitcoin at 39, which not much of an increase or decrease, but still, it's big money moving. 39,800. Minutes ago, we're talking. We saw Bitcoin at 4,200. I mean, 40,200. Um, do you think Bitcoin will hedge inflation?
So I think important the important thing here is again the ways you look at it. So from a big picture, from a way big picture, you're gonna say it doesn't because of the volatility, right? I mean, not really in the way bigger picture. I would say that's in just the big picture or in the small picture. You're gonna say that because of its volatility, right? But let's
Mm-hmm.
look at the way bigger picture, which is what is hedging inflation? So if inflation is 6% this year, hedging inflation would mean that you have a position that gained more than 6% or at least 6%, so that that 6% you had lost due to inflation, well, you either didn't lose it at all or you still got something on top of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
If inflation this year was 7% and Bitcoin this year increased 26%, Bitcoin was a hedge of inflation this year. You understand what I'm saying? Because it
Yeah,
beat inflation.
of course.
Likewise, if the average return of Bitcoin for the past 5 years has been 200 or more percent, which
Mm-hmm.
is kind of true,
Mm-hmm.
then at least for the last 5 years, Bitcoin has been a hedge of inflation. So if we keep these numbers, then Bitcoin is technically a hedge of inflation. But if you're thinking something like what you're accustomed to hear, which is invest in an S&P, and given the fact that inflation is an average of 2%, the S&P returns 10%, you're getting an 8% return per year.
Yeah.
Then you're hedging against inflation because basically you're investing in the stock market, right?
Mm-hmm.
So those are stuff to keep in mind that you're basically doing. It doesn't mean that the S&P 500 is a hedge against inflation because it's still affected by it, right? If the stock market gained 8% and inflation was 2%, then it actually gained 6% net, right? So diferentes factores to keep in mind here when talking about this. Pero I feel it all it all depends on that perspective you have, right? Because obviously if you're thinking about long term growth, if you're thinking about midterm growth, right? And then the next 5 years. Well, given the fact que Bitcoin, ah, aunque haya subido ya un 200%, maybe tú puedes decir, oh, pues en vez de que continúe subiendo 200% in the next 5 years, it'll do 100%. Well, what the least you could do is be like, what could inflation be in those next 5 years? 10%. Well, in the at least those next 5 years, Bitcoin would still be a hedge of inflation. ¿Entiende? You know,
Yeah, of course.
algo bien
Of course.
técnico. Algo bien técnico. I feel like it would all actually still depend on your personal perspective or way of tackling it. Pero by the numbers, shown it has shown that relatively by average, it has been a hedge of inflation. From the recent highs to now, ha demostrado lo contrario porque inflation has been increasing, but the price of Bitcoin has been decreasing. So people are like, well, inflation is increasing. Why is Bitcoin decreasing? Right? Well, Bitcoin has been having its own issues.
Hmm.
Adelante. And Bitcoin is not meant to increase because inflation increases. Again, correlation there. Just because something behaves similarly in the same under the same circumstances doesn't mean they're correlated, right? So the reason people correlate Bitcoin to inflation is because since the dollar is devaluating because of inflation, then Bitcoin should increase because of the limited supply. Inflation should increase the value automatically. That's their perspective. So there's a lot of factors here that people are keeping in mind. And at the end of the day, it all comes down to look, do I think that this is worth it? Right? Do I think that it's worth getting in here? Do I think that this is worth it? And then just taking action on that, right? Then just taking action on
Amazing. Amazing. Um, love your line of thought. Honestly,
that. No, okay. Ay,
I still wouldn't invest in the crypto market. Just so you can choke up a little bit more.
oigan a mi tío. No, no, no. It's all good. Like, it's all good. No, and it's all
No,
good.
but
You know, pero there's a lot of speculation still. Y, and as I've been
I
saying,
like how you can admit that. I like how you can admit that there's still a lot of
hey,
speculation about the market.
you can be un realista dentro de todo también, right?
That's true.
So
You got to be realistic. Hmm.
at the end of the day, we're at early stages where we can expect this a lot, and the actual big dumps that we've seen in the crypto market have been between 80 to 90%. The last one we saw was
Wow.
about 50 to 60%. So we could we could even see Bitcoin drop from 69,000 all the way down to 10,000, right? Maybe
Wow.
9,000. That could happen given past events. So we're at those early stages still. The good thing is we've made long term supports each time higher. So that's good to have in mind, right? If you're into that. But I feel like 100K mark, it's gonna take time, right? Um, it might happen earlier than expected if we have earlier than expected adoption. But I feel like if it's meant to be, it will be meant to be. I feel like the benefit and considering the technicals that it would take to get there, it's all realistic. You know, I think it's just a matter of time. So I'm just going with the flow, taking advantage of these market dips right now, and enjoying the ride. Enjoying the ride.
Well, that's awesome, Ren. That's awesome. I think we can wrap it out
Yeah, you
now,
think
right?
so? Anyway, well,
Yeah, I think so. I
thank
think
you.
so.
Thank you,
Well,
everybody, for
you have to
being
rack
here.
it up. Yeah,
Thank
because
you,
you're the one who wrapped it up. Okay.
everybody. Thank you for being here. Gracias a todos por estar aquí. We've been talking about Bitcoin. We've been talking about can Bitcoin get to 100K. Um, hablamos ahí un montón de aspectos de eso. You can see the chart right here. Let's see that daily chart. Beautiful, beautiful scratch ahí. Este, but this is what I mean. This is that long term supports that we mean que ha creado, right? So, technically speaking, we're still like this, right? We're still in this uptrendish thing, in this uptrendish vibe. So, increíble pero cierto, ¿entiendes? Anyways,
True, true, true.
um, creo que creo que esto fue un palo, right? Thank you again, you guys, for for being here with us today. I hope you guys got something out of this. I hope you guys got a feel of what's going on with the crypto market. And we highly encourage you to, whether you decide crypto market is not for you or whether it is, look into it, right? It might be an opportunity for you or for your partner. Um and it might be something you're interested in. So con esa los dejo. Keep doing what you guys do best. Keep investing. Etiel, hasta la próxima.
Thank you.